Ladies and gentlemen, we want you to stand and we want you to make some noise.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go racing here at Knoxville.
Only the best go 3 abreast. It is show time at Williams Grove Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here at Eldora Speedway, it's showtime!
You got them for a rep. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the world of outlaws.
It's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy, because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Set to do battle for 30 laps. The green flag is waving.
Hello again, it's Wing Nation presented by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strike. Talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week. And we are so glad that you have joined us. Having a ball here. Well, we're doing all right. We're missing our sprint car racing. Erin, Evernham, and Steve Post here via Zoom, just kind of chilling out. And Erin, we're doing all right when we get a chance to talk sprint car racing, but we need some real sprint car racing to really get life back to normal.
We really do. You know, this iRacing stuff has been great, and there's been a lot of hype about it, but there's nothing like the smell and the feel of real sprint cars, let's be honest.
Boy, that is for sure. We're going to talk to Tony Gualda. Tony is one of those drivers. There's been a couple of drivers that have really made some hay with their name recognition in this. Tony Gualda, 360 racer from out California. We've had Tony on the show, but he's been one of the rock stars of iRacing. So we're going to talk to him, and a guy that's not been iRacing, a guy that we're just hoping we can figure out how to zoom in with him, Jason Sides. We're going to talk with him. We just want to see how this is all impacting him and his business and his life and how things are going. So really going to be cool to talk to him. Let's talk about our Classic Ink screen printing and embroidery hot topics. And really the hot topic in iRacing, Erin, is Kevin Swindell picked up the win again last week at Lernerville Speedway.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's, you know, we talked about it a little bit last week. It's just such a great story. For him to have gotten hurt at Knoxville and then to win at Knoxville and to continue winning and using hand controls, it's such a feel-good story.
Well, and I'll use this as a shameless plug. On Saturday morning on our MAV TV show presented by Sage Fruit, Kevin joins us, and we're going to see if we can convince him to show us those hand controls and some of the challenges, because Kevin has really, really made a rock star of himself. I guess the other topic, and we'll talk about this today, and we'll talk about this a little bit more on Thursday on our podcast, is Terry McCarl up at Park Jefferson International Raceway. Fingers crossed, the creek don't rise, nothing crazy happens. We're going to actually have live sprint car racing, and boy, there's a lot of talk about this as well, Erin.
Yeah, there is, and I saw the pre-entry list today.
Yes.
There's a lot of good drivers coming.
It really is. How about Anthony Macri representing the Pennsylvania Posse going over? So
coming from every direction, California, Texas, you name it.
Yeah. It's going to be fun. It really is. And so we record this in the early week. We know a lot can happen between now and then from a weather perspective, but we're just hoping, fingers crossed, that we'll tune in on Saturday night on Speed Shift TV and get a chance to watch some sprint car racing. And there you have it, the Classic Ink screen printing and embroidery hot topics. Classic Ink screen printing and embroidery, offering a full line of driver apparel and crew wear options. You know, drivers like Sheldon Haudenschild, Donnie Schatz, Danny Dietrich, David Stremme, Tony Stewart, Brian Brown, the list goes on. And Erin, there's so much involved with what they do up at Classic Ink Screen Printing and Embroidery.
Absolutely. They're offering full custom driver apparel and crew wear options. They have full service embroidery departments specializing in headwear and outerwear. They have an experienced design team and a dedicated sales department.
No doubt. Really, really cool stuff. You can find out more at www.classicinkusa.com. That's classicinkusa.com. Before we step away and dial up Tony Gualda, let's take a look at this. It's from last week, the World of Outlaw iRacing Invitational Series at Lernerville Speedway. It is the battle for second because, well, Kevin Swindell, he was gone at this time. Randy Hannigan, Chase Briscoe, and Christopher Bell mixing it up. The battle for the runner-up honors. The call by Chase Rodman and Johnny Gibson on Dirt Vision. It's our Drydene Diesel all DEF-Defying move of the week.
And now for the Drydene DEF-Defying move of the week, where one driver simply amazes us with their on-track moves.
Hannigan right back to the inside of Bell. They nearly get together there, and both of them closing on the second place machine of Chase Briscoe. Bell, Briscoe, and Hannigan 3 wide for second down the back straightaway at Lernerville.
Here we come to the white flag, this time by Hannigan, drives it in deep, gets a little bit sideways, 3 wide again off turn number 4, white flag, 1 to go. Who's going to end up in the top 3? It's anybody's guess as Bell drives to the grass, down the backstretch, Hannigan with a run into turns 3 and 4. Hannigan's going to slide up the racetrack, Bell with momentum. It's going to be Bell at the line. Oh my goodness, what a race in that one, Johnny.
That DEF-Defying move was brought to you by Drydene Diesel All DEF, the official DEF of the World of Outlaws and wheelmen everywhere. Visit Drydene.com for more information.
Pride. Passion. Performance. We are Team Drydene.
Welcome back. It is Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires, talking sprint car racing. And, well, a lot of times we talk about other things as well, like our friends at Plan B Sales. They were founded in 2010. They started now as a Lionel and Chase Authentics apparel distributor, but this thing has just absolutely exploded on them. Now Auto World, Greenlight Collectibles, Brand Art, and University of Racing lines. Erin, they also have a huge inventory as well.
They really do, and they have partnerships with drivers like Kyle Larson, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Christopher Bell, and many others. Right now, you can use the promo code MRN. You get free shipping on orders over $20.
All right, let's go to the hotline. Joining us via Zoom, one of the rock stars, if you will, of iRacing from the great state of California. Tony Gualda joins us. Hey, Tony, welcome into Wing Nation.
Hi, Steve. How you doing?
I am doing well. Tony, you're a racer. You've had success out on the West Coast in the 360 Tour, but we understand it's California 360 racing. The last month, you've been on TV, you've been on Dirt Vision, you've been up in the front of Knoxville, you've been doing all of this. What has iRacing meant to you over the last month as a guy that's making a household name out of yourself?
Right, man. It's really cool, getting to race at tracks like Knoxville and, tomorrow we're in Williams Grove and Charlotte. It's cool to run these tracks on a virtual platform, racing against guys that, get to go there in real life and they have success and all that. So, like I said, it's really cool to, I guess you could say make a name for yourself or, just show that, iRacing, is really a good kind of platform to produce some good racing on these tracks that, are really fame in my opinion.
Absolutely. Tony, I saw on social media, you wrote a quote about basically being more nervous to qualify iRacing than you are in real life. And you're not the first person I've heard say that. What is it about iRacing? Is it because there's no other elements around you? Or what makes you more nervous when you're on a video game versus real life?
Man, it's hard to say. I can't really pinpoint. Usually you have a crew guy that'll, pop in and, say, all right, let's do this, kind of amp you up or, something. In iRacing, it's just you're sitting alone in your room or, and it's just stressful. You're sitting there talking to your buddies and they're all agreeing with you. And they're like, man, this ain't like real life, but I'm getting more nervous right now. So I think we all we feed off of each other. It's like, well, he's nervous, well, so am I. It's just, it all kind of builds up. You know what I mean?
It's been amazing to watch. It really, truly has been to watch. One of the things that's fascinating me about this is in the household motorsports version is Timmy Hill with his $250 set clamped onto a desk out there racing. Where are you at, Tony? Do you have the big rig with the surround sound and everything like that, or are you more the open trailer coming into these races?
I'm definitely more the open trailer. I have a Logitech G27 wheel that I got a few years back. It's simple. It gets the job done. But I will say that I have ran, the big, really cool simulators. I've ran simulators with 3D, triple screen, VR and all that. I ran a WR1 at the Chili Bowl this past year, or this year, I should say. They're all really cool. But, at the end of the day, my Logitech G27 seems to get the job done just fine.
I guess so, with the results that you've had. Tony, you mentioned you getting to race at tracks that you hadn't before, Knoxville, Williams Grove, Charlotte. what in iRacing will translate or help you maybe when you get back in a real car, and maybe vice versa? What is there that's different on the iRacing?
Right. I'd say just kind of staying sharp, knowing what to do in certain situations and stuff like that. But things that translate, that I say translate, is kind of dirty air. Like I feel like Williams Grove, Knoxville, and Charlotte are tracks that, you enter behind a guy, you're going to get some dirty air and you're going to get tight, from racing as well. You can't just tuck up behind a guy like you're, say, Daytona or something, enter into the corner and not get tight. So I really like the realism side of it, and I'm hoping that's something that they can get into the game at some point. But, it's fun to get on there and race with your buddies, that's, we get to do that in real life, but now we can do that on the sim and just kind of have fun with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you get to race with your buddies, but you've also been on the track with some pretty big name racers as well. For a young guy, that's got to be pretty neat to look at the starting lineup and even look at the names that finish behind you.
Yeah, absolutely. I got to race with the Outlaws up in Skagit for Doug Roots. I did a start park deal with the 360, and it was cool. I got to race in a heat race with Jason Sides and Sheldon Hodenshield, and I think it was Brad Sweet. That was cool. My first Outlaw start, whether it was in a 360 or 410, I'd still getting to race with those big name guys was really cool. And now to do it on iRacing, getting to race with guys that are, obviously really good in real life is also, really, really cool.
For sure. Tony, aside from whipping everyone's butt on iRacing, what else have you been doing to keep entertained during this crazy time? Have you been working at the shop? What can you do as a racer other than iRacing to kind of keep yourself busy?
I mean, staying fit really is a big thing that I think helps when you get back in the real car. Talking to, guys that I race with online, Buddy Kofoid and Seth Bergman, buddies that I have that have made from sim racing, we all kind of agreed that staying in shape, and staying good with your mental health and all that, will help you when you get back in a race car. So besides iRacing, it's just been kind of working out and trying to keep the mind going,
Tony, what do you do outside of racing in real life? Is it what do you do outside of racing in your real life? Maybe it's stopped now with the COVID-19, but what do you do?
I just focusing on racing right now. Last year, I put all my focus into racing. It's really what I want to do. There's certain things that interest me that, besides racing, but right now I'm putting all my efforts, into making it in racing, because that's really what I want to do in life and, make it somewhere in this deal.
That's great. Tony, we're starting to see people like Terry McCarl putting on a race this weekend in South Dakota that hopefully happens. How eager are you? I know you're very eager to get back to the track, but obviously we have to all be precautionary, and each state has different rules going on right now. But if a race popped up, how quickly would you be jumping on it?
Well, I'd have to make a couple phone calls and see if I can, get a car owner to want to put me in. I'd love to go racing right now, but, like I raced for Doug Roots. He lives up in Langley, British Columbia. And right now I don't think it would be really an option for Doug to come down. If there was a race that, say, tomorrow, I don't think that would be quite ideal, because he has his son Travis, and they're doing their steps, to keep him from getting anything that's going around right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. It's a strange time. We had Bud Kading on a week or two ago. They're all running together, and Erin mentioned each state, and you're in California, and that tends to be one that we kind of think might be later rather than sooner. Do you have a sense of anything? Has anyone given you any indication on it, or is it still we're all like the rest of us still just kind of wait and see?
I feel like we're all kind of in the same boat here, just, wait it out and do the best we can to, do what they're telling us to do, even though I know we're all on the same page and wanting to go racing. It's killing me because, this time last year I was getting, to go racing every weekend, whether I was going up to Washington or, going to Oregon or, racing here at home. It's just, it's kind of different. I went from traveling the most I ever have last year to now we're just, I guess you could say stuck at home.
You mentioned the travel, and one thing that we always talk about with the sprint car world is the sense of community. You said you talked to some of your buddies when you're iRacing, but how difficult has that part of it been? I mean, we're so used to the whole social network of racing as well.
What was it? You cut out. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Apologize. It's okay.
You talked about travel, and another whole aspect of sprint car racing is the community, the people. You mentioned you talked to some of your friends iRacing, but there's still a huge part of our life, our social life, missing when we're not racing.
Absolutely. You know, you get to go to the track, and obviously it's usually all business, but, you know, you get to see your buddies, you know, so it's been a lot different. You know, I find myself on FaceTime with guys that I, you know, hang out with at the track, you know, and I'm not getting to see right now, you know, like, I talk to a few guys every day, you know, it seems like hey, what are you doing? You know, it's usually the same conversation, but it's, you know, we don't get to, you know, talk to each other in person. So, you know, we're either talking about iRacing setup or something kind of just like the real car, you know, just kind of picking each other's brains, you know.
Well, Tony, it's real cool to chat with you here. We did Facebook Live broadcast after some of the Dirt Vision races, and I think it was your dad jumped on, and or was your dad or your grandfather? Or somebody
Probably my dad.
Yeah, your dad. And boy, he was a proud dad, and so it was kind of cool to have him jump in and chat with us on the Facebook Live. And glad we had a chance to visit with you real time here, or Zoom time, or whatever time this is here on Wing Nation. We appreciate you joining us.
All right, guys. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hopefully be talking to you once real racing gets going again.
That's right. We'll look forward to that. That's for sure. Tony Gualda joining us here on Wing Nation. Stay with us, everyone. More in just a moment.
Power isn't born. It's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain. And we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
Hey, Ashley, what are you up to?
Oh, I just stopped by to grab some sage fruit apples. Now I just have to decide which ones.
You can never go wrong with a Honey Crisp. They're light, crisp, and full of perfectly balanced flavor.
Oh, hey.
You could always go with one of their classics, the Gala or Fuji. They're both sweet and juicy.
Grown in the heart of Eastern Washington, Sage Fruit Company works hard on the farm and with their retail partners to provide high-quality apples and pears to consumers all year long.
Well, I couldn't decide which ones. Thanks for the help, guys.
I'll race you to checkout.
Welcome back. It is Wing Nation here, presented by Hercules Tires, talking sprint car racing because, well, that's all we have these days. Erin, Evernham, and Steve Post. But joining us now, we've got a little bit of double down Jason Sides, but we've also got worldwide Paul Sides joining us. Gentlemen, welcome into Wing Nation.
Hey, great to be here.
Great to chat with you. Okay, so we're all bored. We're all losing our mind. Jason, you guys just went on a whirlwind road trip, 4 days on the road. Where were you going? Why were you doing it? What was going on?
Well, biggest thing is you got to make some money. You need to get out of town. You need to you're going a little stir crazy at home, so anything that you can do to keep yourself busy and get on the road, you can do it.
He just got to. We actually, we were delivering a car to the Hall of Fame for this Greg Hodner tribute they're doing.
Okay.
And so we took a car up there that we worked on and delivered it there, and then went and actually took one from there to up in PA to the Eastern Museum, and picked up another couple of cars and brought them back to the Hall of Fame, and then went to
Minneapolis.
St. Paul, Minneapolis, and picked up a Camaro and brought it back to Memphis. So it was just a 4-day round trip. But it,
a lot of driving.
We stayed in the truck more than anything. We slept about probably 10 hours total, and we only talked to like 5 people. So I don't think we got anything. I think we're safe.
That was my next question. I mean, for all of us that have been quarantined for 5 weeks, what does a road trip look like these days?
Bare.
Yeah.
Nothing but trucks.
You see mainly trucks hauling stuff. Very few cars. I can tell you that we went through Chicago. Normally take you about an hour and a half to get through Chicago. We were through there in about 35 minutes.
Yeah. 25
at the most. Yeah, 25, 35 minutes.
Yeah. I didn't think about that. We need to do that. Jason, one of the reasons I wanted to get you on here, and you alluded to making money, not racing. We've talked to some of the team owners, and there's some owners obviously that have lots of money, and so I mean they're missing racing and going forward. You're a guy that depends on racing for your livelihood. How tough is this? What are you doing? You're delivering cars, but how is this all working out for you to keep the lights on?
Well, to be honest, I mean, I never really thought about it as far as really making money while you're racing. But as long as the truck and trailer's been sitting still, I haven't spent any money.
Yeah.
So they always say, well, if you don't go race, you don't spend the money, which I never really realized it. But at this time right now, we haven't spent anything. Everything's been paid for up to this point. And then when you race, you got tires and fuel and all the bills, that you normally have. But with that thing sitting there, there hasn't been any bills other than your normal, phone, shop rent, stuff like that. But at the most part, I haven't spent anything, so I haven't made anything. So it's kind of just a big wash.
I hadn't thought about that. I had asked a few people previously on the show about comparing it to past springs where there's been a ton of rainouts and you've been stuck in California. But like you said, you don't have the expense. You're not paying for hotels. You're not paying for gas. So it's interesting that you're almost, kind of breaking even in a way. You're not taking in any money. But Jason, we've been watching everyone take off with this whole iRacing simulator stuff. And every time I tune in, I don't see Jason Sides anywhere on there. What's your whole take on iRacing?
It's for kids.
It is for kids. The last video game I played was probably Galaga, a stand-up machine or something.
In the 80s.
Yeah, if they wanted to play Mario Brothers or something on Nintendo, we could do that. But really, I mean,
Donkey Kong kind of guys.
Yeah, we don't have time to play games. I mean, it's either making money or trying to do something like that, to the point where we just don't play games. I mean,
the video games will get you in trouble.
Yes, they will.
Well, yeah, we've seen that. That's for sure. We've seen that for sure. Jason and Paul Sides joining us here today on Wing Nation. Paul, you are maybe one of the most social guys in the world. There we go. We've even got the shop dog joining us. Paul, you are one of the most social guys in the world. You've never met a stranger. You're always talking. You're always with a group of people. You say you've gone on this 4-day road trip and you maybe talked to 5 people. How tough has this been for you to survive all this, the stir craziness?
Well, I told you, I only talked to 5 people in person. And that was
in person, right, yeah.
But I talked to like 1,000, on Facebook, social media and stuff like that. But, yeah, I mean, it's a different world we're living in right now. And we've never seen anything like this. So it's kind of new. And, to be honest, it has not been terrible for us. I mean, we've not gone without toilet paper. I mean,
or beer.
I mean, when this thing stopped, when this thing first started, me and Jay went to Sam's, and I got 10 cases of beer, some toilet paper, because everybody else was buying it. I mean, I don't know why, but I just did what everybody else was doing. I was looking at everybody's basket and go, ooh, let's get some of that. So we after the first week, we were back at Sam's getting more beer. I think we drank a little much that first week, and it was like, all right, what do we do now? We got to pace yourself to make it through. But it's just different. It's kind of a this is Tucker here.
There we go.
Hey, say hi, Tucker. He's a golden doodle, but he's black.
Jason, you talk about all this beer that you're drinking, but you look awfully slim over there. You must be drinking the seltzers maybe now?
No, he's not drinking beer. It's me. No, he actually quit drinking beer, and that's what helped, a lot on his weight.
No beer for I.
As Paul gives us a good profile shot of the beer belly. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't drive a car anymore, so I don't have to watch my weight. I'm already married. I'm safe.
There you go. Jason, how do you feel? You've done all this weight loss program, and we've had fun. We've talked about not drinking beer and everything, but how do you feel?
I feel good. I look at it each day like, I'm ready to go back to the racetrack and see how it works. Yeah. We didn't get a whole trial there at Florida, and then after that's kind of been shut down. But I feel like the longer it goes, the better I feel and better shape I'm in.
Nice.
Jason, are you working out a lot? Or are you just more weight management? What have you been doing?
Mainly just weight management. I'm here lately after the got off the kind of weight program. It's just doing some small sit-ups, push-ups, things like that, just to kind of stay in shape since we're not doing a whole lot.
Good stuff. Good stuff. It will be interesting to see what it's like when we get back behind the wheel of the race car. Terry McCarl is promoting a race this weekend. And I don't know what the World of Outlaw response to it was or anything else. Maybe you couldn't do it, but was there any discussion about going and trying to do this or exploring that, or was it just too far to go to make any sense for you guys?
No, I just heard about it kind of while we were on the road trip and saw that they were putting a race on. And before we could even get a game plan together or even think about going and running it, we got a text from the Outlaws saying that, we might want to sit at home and not do it.
All right. Yep, there you go. The Platinum membership. So the World of Outlaws is just life as we know it. That's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah. Well, guys, I appreciate getting the chance to catch up with you guys and seeing what's going on. And I'm glad to hear that I'm glad to see the lights are on. The dog is still fed and Paul's still fed too. That's a pretty good combination.
Yeah, not bad, is it?
No. I think we got it covered. That's what I said. I said, when this little thing gets done, this COVID thing gets done, I'm going to get in membership to Food Eaters Anonymous and Alcoholics Anonymous because I thought we drank a lot of beer on the road when we were racing. Man, nothing like at home now.
Well, when you got this much time on your hands, there's not a lot to do. We've got so many projects started. We're constantly, let's fix that, let's fix this. So, and I mean, it's not like we're drinking beer every day, but it's, you gotta take a break sometimes,
That road trip was probably good for us.
Yeah, it was.
That's it. There we go. Guys, a pleasure. We appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, thanks, y'all.
There we go. Thanks, guys. Always good to catch up with Jason Sides, and even better, Erin, when we have Paul Sides joining us, a twofer there. How about that?
I know, that duo. I mean, that's a strong one right there.
Yes, it is. That is for sure. Speaking of strength, speaking of great products, just like racing components, Aggressive Hydraulics purpose builds hydraulic cylinders to perform for customer-specific applications. Design and manufacture of mobile-style single-stage cylinders as well as multi-stage cylinders and multi-stage telescopic cylinders. The one thing I really like about it with Aggressive Hydraulics is they use a no one-size-fits-all approach.
They have hydraulic solutions for virtually every industry that uses hydraulic cylinders. They proudly design and manufacture all their cylinders in the United States. You can check out a video of their story at aggressivehydraulics.com. They're a proud sponsor of Ryan Newman at the Chili Bowl and all his short track racing.
Find out more at aggressivehydraulics.com. Stay with us. More Wing Nation in just a moment.
Power isn't born. It's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain. And we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
Sir, are you aware you were going 40 miles an hour? This is a residential area.
Sure, but I'm on my lawnmower? Wait, am I getting a ticket?
No, I've just never seen anyone top 9 miles an hour on one of those bad boys. And mow their entire lawn in 30 seconds? What got into you?
Well, it did fuel up at Sunoco this morning.
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. We've been doing it for American racing for over 50 years. Fuel your best.
Welcome back. It is Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength, and you can count on Hercules Tires to have your back when times are tough, all while adding money to your pocket. The purchase of 4 qualifying Hercules Tires between the 1st of the month and the 30th of the month, which is just next Thursday, could get you up to a $70 Visa prepaid gift card. You can visit HerculesTires.com/spring rebate for more information. Erin, Evernham, and Steve Post. And Erin, we kind of covered different sides of the spectrum. Young racer with Tony Gualda trying to make his name, and old racer just hanging out and having a good time. Always fun to touch base with a couple of our sprint car buds.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's fun to, you talk about different sides of the spectrum. You have one that's loving the iRacing, one that calls it a video game. But again, it's just great to talk to everyone on the whole spectrum.
Donkey Kong, I think, was referenced when
Beer and Donkey Kong.
Yeah, that is cool. Good stuff. Really is good stuff. We have got a great week coming up for you. One of the things we've talked about with this where this COVID shutdown is. We've talked to a variety of people in different aspects. Ron Musselman, we talked to last week, Maxim Chassis. We're going to talk on Thursday to Chet Christner. Chet is, of course, Speed Shift TV. And I can't imagine what this is doing to Speed Shift TV and all of our video providers that we rely on. These guys, we think about essential services, and we understand that sprint car racing is not essential, but for a sprint car fan, we've become addicted to Dirt Vision, Racing Boys, Sprint, Speed Shift, and all these. So on Thursday, we're going to talk to Chet Christner on our podcast, and coming up on Saturday, we're going to talk to Kevin Swindell on our show on MAV TV. So, Erin, I hate that we're talking to all of these different people about this slowdown, but it is fascinating to hear all of the different sides and how it's impacting people across the board.
It is, and it's just really nice to stay connected with the whole sprint car community right now.
Really, truly is. And we're glad you chose to stay connected with us. Remember, our social media is on Twitter at Wing Nation. We have Facebook page, Facebook group. Our YouTube channel has all of our videos from all of the interviews we've done across all of our platforms. We appreciate you joining us here this week on Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires.
Wing Nation has been brought to you by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. Watch Wing Nation Saturday mornings on MAV TV. You can also find Wing Nation on wingnation.com or your favorite podcast provider. Wing Nation is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.